In Myanmar, earlier results indicate that the oppositional party, under the leadership of Nobel Peace Prize laureate Aung San Suu Kyi, has won a landslide victory against the incumbent military-backed Union Solidarity and Development Party. Ms. Suu Kyi, daughter of the country's founding father Aung San and a hero of the Burmese people, said Tuesday that results have been coming in steadily and that she expects her party to get around 75% of the total votes, surpassing the two-thirds needed to form a government on their own. It remains to be seen whether the ruling party and the military elite, who has been running Myanmar since it came to power through a coup d'etat in 1962, will accept the final outcome of the elections. When Suu Kyi's National League for Democracy last won the elections in 1990, the Burmese generals annulled the result, put Suu Kyi in house arrest for 2 decades and cracked down on their opponents. Even though Myanmar's president Thein Sein, himself a former military leader, has vowed that the election results will be respected, the country's military leaders remain an unpredictable force who might show reluctance toward accepting an NLD victory. Legislation barring Ms. Suu Kyi from the presidential post was passed in advance of the election. She replied by declaring she would serve in a position above the president, yet did not say how she intended on doing so. With the new parliament not in session until February and the president not selected until March, the coming months will likely consist of delicate negotiating over the shape of a future government. Should a transition of power take place, it will be the first time in more than 5 decades that voters in Myanmar have been successfully able to choose their leaders freely, marking the elections as a historic milestone in the country's recent period of transition from militaristic dictatorship to one of relative democracy. However, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done before Myanmar can be considered a de facto democracy. The NLD has come under criticism by human rights groups for failing to speak up for Myanmar's disenfranchised and persecuted minority of Rohingya Muslims. The Rohingya population of 1.3 million have been persecuted for decades by the Buddhist-dominated population and were early this year banned from voting in the elections on the basis of ethnicity and religion. Should the NLD come to power, Ms. Suu Kyi can no longer be reluctant in confronting this issue. There is also the matter of the military elite clutching to power. Regardless of what the final results of the elections will be, the newly altered constitution guarantees the military 25% of seats in parliament. The constitution that enshrines the military's powers cannot be changed without a 75% vote in parliament. In other words, Myanmar's generals will continue to hold sway no matter who is elected. Frode Nagel Dahl, Armenian Service, Voice of America, from Washington, D.C.